You're welcome back. Now, the Emerging Leaders Conference for 2015 will be holding sometime in November this month, of course, at the International Conference Center in Abuja. And joining us from Abuja is the president of Gotney, Linus Okorie. How are you doing, sir?
My brother, I'm doing very well,
It's
and excitedly looking forward to the Emerging Leaders Conference.
Yeah, it's always nice to have you in the studio. You abandoned me to Abuja this time. How's Abuja today?
I hope you join us soon at the conference.
What's happening this year? I mean, you were here last year. We talked about it. Coming from last year and how things went then, what are we looking forward to this year?
Well, this year is quite an interesting year because this is the first time for the last 4 years that at least we have a new president, and then the policies on leadership development and youth development, basically is right in the air. So what we are talking about right now is rethinking Nigeria and leadership for possibilities, which is very, very critical. This year's Emerging Leaders Conference is actually going to be very different. We're going to be having 3 summits in one conference. First of the summit is the Entrepreneurship Summit. We will be, business owners and young CEOs of companies, enterprise thinkers and change makers within the business space. These young people will be gathering in the Entrepreneurship Summit within the conference. I mean, it's amazing. The other one is the young people in the Entrepreneurship Conference, Intra. Those are the young professionals, bankers, the lawyers, the doctors, professionals, the engineers, the farmers, people who are making a difference within institutions. Now we are saying that you can think as an entrepreneur while you are working within an organization, the civil service, one young people that can push ideas within the civil service. So we'll be having that special, summit. And then the last one will be those who are in politics and governance and social change. Where are those young people who have been elected into government, who are under 45, who are under 50? We're saying that those young people can have the opportunity, to be part of, that particular summit, so that we can begin to, set the agenda for where we are going to as a nation. We have to, push the ideas into the space. So this conference is like no other, because we even have people coming from, this time around, 3 important persons coming from the US, and over here in Nigeria, we have some of our best minds, coming together, about 22 speakers in this conference. Wow, it's going to be mind-blowing.
Yeah. I know we talked about it the last time you were here, and for someone who's never heard about this conference, a lot of young people have heard, oh, we're the leaders of tomorrow, we are emerging, and we're going to take over very soon. And for some people, it's been like a pipe dream for as long as they can remember. So for someone who's seeing this for the first time, what is an emerging leader? Why do we need a conference at all? And what are you really what do you think I, as an emerging leader attending, would achieve from this?
My brother, nations of the world that have made great progress, nations, like Singapore and United Arab Emirates and even India, most of the things that they have done, quite interestingly, is always, bringing young people together and, creating a learning system where young people can begin to learn how they can be leaders. I mean, core leadership principles that is global practice that is currently trending around the world. Imagine, a gathering of 1,000 smartest young people coming together to learn from the very best, and begin to understand enterprise and what innovation is about, and all of those skills that are critical, that will help them become the best leaders that can ever be. These are, the kinds of advantages that this kind of conference is bringing to bear. And again, it's coming at a time where our nation needs fresh ideas. As I'm talking to you right now, the political space is filled with a lot of politics, a lot of discussions that are discouraging. I mean, you see comments coming from the ruling class, that most of the time is not really inspiring. So you need some fresh energies and fresh ideas, coming together to have what we call peer review mechanism, where at the end of the day, young people come in and they are inspired to go back to their space and begin to lead for today, not for tomorrow. We are not leaders, young people are not leaders of tomorrow. They are leaders of today. And if, the system realizes that, young people have, the capacity to make a difference in their space. Then you need the leadership capital skills to enable you to make that kind of difference. Because if you're a young person and you are given an opportunity to lead and you step in there and you make the same mistakes that some of these leaders in the past have made, basically, then it's not something we should be proud of. That's why we have to change that mode of thinking. We have to have a strong paradigm shift that says, as young people, you must contribute in your space to make your organization better. If you're working for a company, you must do something that is different, that will bring you out, that will make you stand out in that institution. So that is the kind of reviews that this conference will make available to the people, and it's going to be quite interactive, as the case may be. Not just speakers speaking to young people. Young people will be engaged, and speaking with themselves as well. So they'll come out of the conference to say, this is where we want Nigeria to be in a couple of years, and we make it happen.
You mentioned something there, and I want to just take you just away a bit from the conference as a whole and talking about opportunities and young people and this government in particular. You mentioned, of course, with the first question I asked about the fact that we have a new president and it's going to be a different conference for that reason. And there's been a lot of criticism thrown at this Mr. President, especially with the ministerial list submitted and his appointment so far, considering the fact that not a lot of young people have gotten opportunities to be a part of government. Do you think it's something that's very important to have that sort of, with appointments, for example, do young people need to be in those positions to make a statement? Is this something that we should be criticizing government for?
Yeah, my thinking is that you need the energy of the young people and the wisdom of the old, which means if you have more young people begin to participate, and when I'm talking about young people, I'm not just saying young people, I mean young people that are groomed, that understand what leadership is about, not young people that supported, for elections to be won. That's the kind of I'm talking about young people who are visionary, who are committed, whose experiences so far, says that there are people who can make a difference. If you bring those young people within systems, within government, within, a cabinet, what will happen is that there will be a mentorship, that will be on ground. There will be what we call succession planning that will be on ground. So once you have the energy of young people coming to, a cabinet and things like that, they can change things, they can make things happen. Freshness of their ideas and their innovative, circumstances can make things happen within systems. That's why, I am calling for a situation. I remember for many years, for about 21 years, I've been calling to say that every young person who does not make out time to develop his mind, or her mind, or develop themselves in such a way that, when opportunity comes, they can be relevant. And you can remember that a lot of young people who had an opportunity to engage in government in the past, a lot of them, did not contribute, to the system. A lot of them, not many of them, some of them made a difference. But we need a critical mass of young people who are prepared to lead. And that's why this kind of conference is so important, that even if they are not leading in the political space, they can also be leading in the business space, in their communities, in their villages. They are making a difference. And so once they continue to make a difference, I can tell you that they will be thrown up over a period of time. The impact that they are making in their communities can push them for recognition, like never before. That's why I think that there are a lot of young people in this country who are doing great things. And I was disappointed that, we didn't find some of those young people, to actually bring them into the cabinet, as the case may be. So, but we are watching with keen interest, believing that a conference like this will, help, push the ideas of young people beyond the boundaries.
So you're basically saying, Mr. President could have done better. You are slightly disappointed in him. How do you send this message across then, seeing that you have such a powerful platform? How do you get Mr. President to listen?
That we have invited the president officially for this conference to say, he should come and, and address young people on, his policies for, leadership development and youth development, and I also think that, this kind of conference will be an opportunity for government to say, what, since he has called for attitudinal transformation, which I believe, very strongly, that is the way to go. The president on his 1st October address said to the people of Nigeria that we need an attitudinal transformation. We need a paradigm shift. We need to change our values, the way things are done. I agree with him in total. And the only way that can be possible is, for the president to, see this kind of conference as an opportunity to engage the very best of young people, because one young person coming to that conference has thousands of followers. By the time you engage young people, and say, this is our policy direction, young people can help to sell those policy directions, because in as far as we're concerned, what we think is that we want change to happen, and not just in words. We want change to happen in all the fabrics of our society. And leadership development for me is a critical, and very direct way to make it happen.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that we as young people tend to focus a little too much on tokenism. We want to be appointed, to positions. We want to be PAs to ministers, and things like that. Or we want handouts to start businesses, without necessarily focusing on policy. Are there parts where this conference are going to be addressing maybe how to influence government policy to better help young people in Nigeria, do better?
Absolutely. In fact, the heart of the conference is basically, how can we galvanize, our various contributions to move towards ensuring that, government agencies and systems, can find a think tank where ideas, can be discussed, and at the end of the day, government can find alternatives of different ideas they can benefit from in terms of moving our country forward in the various segments of our country. It is only somebody who has developed a leadership capital skills that is talking about the common good rather than self. If young people can learn how to be selfless, and we have more of those people in this country, and at the end of the day, what you're going to find out is that the government will now begin to find out opportunities on how they can do things better. And at the end of the day, those young people too can also, not necessarily be in government. They can also, in their local communities, ensure that within the next 4 years, that you have, very quality teams that are built, that will help, this country develop, to ensure that only credible leaders are elected into government. Those are the kinds of things we're talking about. And I don't see any reason why, young people under 40s and, and even under 30s who are qualified, I don't see any reason why they should not begin now to prepare themselves, to put out themselves for elections in the future, so that if their communities find that they are bringing a lot of contribution to bear, then those young people can be elected into positions of honor. I don't see any reason why those young people cannot be commissioners. I don't see any reason why those young people should not be, people who are contributing to our country in various ways. But what I'm saying is that before anybody recognizes your contribution, you must have developed your skills in such a way that when that opportunity comes as a young person, you will not disappoint those that have, appointed you. And right. I'm saying that you have a lot of young people in this country who have worked so hard in their little domain and they're making a difference. And I'm saying that government should be able to, find those young people useful within their plan.
All right. Just to round up now, it holds on the 6th and 7th of November at the International Conference Center in Abuja. Whoever wants to get involved, how do they participate? Just very quickly, please.
Yes, okay, great. Any young person listening to me today wants to be part of this conference. What you have to do is that, you send us a text on 080-335-12469. 080-335-12469. And just for the last time, 080-335-12469, and say your name, what you do, and why you want to be part of this conference that will be assembling 1,000 of change makers, entrepreneurs, and business owners and politicians from all over this country to discuss the future of our country and how we can, as young people, contribute to the growth of our country, how we can love our country dearly and push our country to the next level of growth and productivity so that other countries of the world can have great respect for our country, and we can make it happen. And so for the last time, any young person listening to me from all parts of Nigeria who wants to be part of this conference, all you need to do is send us a text to say, I want to be part of this conference on 080-335-12469. And we would give you the opportunity to be part of the conference, and we'll get back to you to say this is how you can be part of it, and then this is the cost, of the conference and all of that. And so Channels Television, Heritage Bank, are making this conference happen for the benefit of the Nigerian young people.
Thank you very much, Linus Okorie, President of Gotney. Good luck with the conference. I might be there. I'll try my best to be there, of course. I know there's a lot to gain from this. And if you're watching, please make sure you do make your way down to the National Conference Center on the 6th and 7th of November in Abuja. Thank you very much. We're taking a quick break now and be right back with more right here on Rubbin Minds. Please stay with us.